Okay, welcome to this tutorial on Flutter, Scaffold, and AppBar. This was where we stopped from our last lesson. So in this lesson, we'll explore how to use the Scaffold and the AppBar widgets. So we'll see how these widgets help us to structure our Flutter app. So whether you are building a simple app or a complex app, understanding scaffolds and app bars is key to creating a great user interface. So the first thing someone might ask is, what is a scaffold? Okay, so what is a scaffold? If you look at our home page, what I'm saying I'm going to do is to delete some of these. To simplify this, I'm going to remove these comments that are green so we can actually have a look at what our uh, program looks like. Remember that this is still the custom app that Flutter uh, creates for us. So possibly, how about we just delete all of this, okay, in our home page, and then create a new home page. Now, I would do uh, a stateful widget. Now, when I do this, you may wonder, how did I get this? So if you install these, there's an extension for this. So it's called, look at my installed extension. It's called the Flutter Widget Snippets. Okay, so if you install this, it helps you to use some and also awesome Flutter snippets. So you should install these two. You should just search them out and install them. So what this does for you is that it enables you to use some shorthand. Like if you see, when I want to add material, I will just do import M. So when I write this import M and press enter, it writes it in full. Now, if I want to create, there are two types of widgets in Flutter, either stateless or stateful. If I write FST full, so this and press enter, this will create me a stateful widget using the name of the file. So that file is homepage.dat. It will automatically call the class homepage. If I want to create a stateless widget, I'll say FST-less, and it creates a stateless widget. With time, we're going to learn the difference between stateful and stateless widget. So for now, let's just create a stateful widget for our home page. And then you see that one wrong thing about this is that it creates a widget with a container. Okay, but this is not what we want to do. So we want to use a scaffold. I want you to look at a scaffold. So I asked a question, what is a scaffold? Let me provide some kind of definition up here. Okay, so a scaffold is a fundamental building block in Flutter. It provides the basic structure for app screens. You see how you, okay, let me just finish this. Including features like an app bar, a floating action. Let me put this down. Floating action button, drawers, and more. So think of a scaffold widget as a layout manager for your app. All right. So one way to just know this is when you look at your app, the whole entire screen represents your scaffold. Okay, so this scaffold we now have contain things like the app bar, this color place the app bar, this is the body, everything here is the body, this is the action button we're looking at. There's something called a drawer which you can add here. When you click, it pops out. That's a drawer. Okay, so now we have added a scaffold in our program. So when we have a scaffold, the most basic thing you can add to your scaffold is body. All right. So for the body, let's use a center widget, add a child to it. Let the child be a text, and let the text say, hello, welcome to my app. All right. So there's been an error here. That's because we changed the name of this. It's no longer, look at this now. It's no longer my homepage. It's now just homepage. So we need to delete this. So if you change this, and of course it doesn't have anything on the parent, it doesn't require any parameter anymore. So we're going to delete it. Okay. So and the page here is small letter, so no need to bring up capital letter anymore. Now we can save this, and then okay, there's still some parts that are not saved, so we can just say save all. So everything is saved. All right, so now we have a simple screen. Remember that this screen is just built from the scaffold. I'll go ahead and delete these other ones too. Okay, so back to our home page. Here are some key things, key call it properties of the scaffold. The first one is the body, okay, which contains the entire screen content. So everything you want to place on your screen will come into the body. Then you have the app bar, which contains the app bar. We're going to talk about the app bar soon. You have the drawer, which contains the sliding side menu. Okay. There's also floating action button, which is used to add a button that floats on the screen. Why we call it floating is because it doesn't scroll when you scroll the page. We're going to see that actually. So if you have these blue underlines, it's easy to fix. Just place it says here use const. So it requires you to add constants. Just put that, and this should settle this off. So let's look at how to add some of these features. So what we have here initially we have created is a basic example of a scaffold widget. Notice how it wraps the body content. So you have the scaffold, you have the body as a property of the scaffold, which is in this case is a simple center widget. So this center widget has a text as its child, and the text just says, hello, welcome to my app. So the scaffold widget is flexible and allows you to build various types of layout. So the next thing we're going to look at is how to add an app bar. So let's do app bar, So you can look at the app bar like a title bar for your screen. Okay. So what you will just do is it has a we call title. So this title can also take a widget. Let's put a widget here and say uh, hello, or just call it something funny, something my Flutter app, right? Okay, so this is going to cause us to remove this because this is no longer going to work here. And then, yeah, let's save and see what it looks like. So it says here my Flutter app as the title of our. So you see how to add the title. You don't just you add it, you add the title on an app bar, which is part of the properties of the scaffold. This is how you get this. Okay. Another fun thing you can add is background color. Now, all of these must be within the app bar itself. So the app bar starts from this yellow thing to the yellow bracket. So if you put it outside here, it will not be. For instance, I want to add background color. If I go here and try to add the background, yes, background color can work also in scaffold. Anything I'm adding here now is in the scaffold actually, but I'll prefer to add it. Okay, let me show you. Background color. One of the simple ways to do is to do colors.red. Now, if I do this, notice that the whole scaffold is red now, but the app bar has no color, right? That's because I added this on the scaffold, not on the app bar. The app bar starts from is within these two yellow brackets. So I want this to be inside here. So I'll put a comma and rather have it inside my so this is what I have now. So makes more sense, right? You can also add a foreground color. Foreground color will be the color of whatever is written there. So let's do it colors the white. So this is white now, right? So the app bar widget provides the convenient way to display a title, actions, and even custom widgets. So here, what we've just done is we've added a simple title and also changed the background color and the foreground color of the app bar. Let's see how we can add icons. All right, we're going to add some icons and actions to this uh, app bar. So let's add action. I'll explain what an action is after I've added it. So there could be more than one. That's why it says actions and it gives you a list to put them. So let's do an icon button. So an icon button, let's use the icon that says icons.settings. So on pressed, if you don't understand some of these, I'll explain them with time. So on press, let's simply say print settings icon pressed. So we're going to see how this works on our page actually. There's an error. So let's see, there should be a square here. All right, so now we have an icon action. So if you click on this, if you look at this, it says settings icon pressed. If you click on it again, it says settings icon pressed. So what we're going to, so right here now we have added, we can add multiple this thing. Let's add another icon button. All of this is icon button. So that's you can see in some, let's use notification, icons dot notification add. So let's say notification icon press. So in some, you see, so you have notification, you have this. So this one will say notification icon pressed, and yeah, this something like that. Okay, I think this is still saying okay, I think I may have made a little mistake. This one is supposed to be notification icon pressed, and this is supposed to be settings icon pressed. Okay, so in this example now, we've added a settings icon that prints a message when tapped. So this is very useful for adding quick actions like search, settings, or notification. We've also added the notification just to show how that works. Now, still on the app, on the scaffold, we have added app bar. We've added the body. Another thing we can add on the scaffold is what we call the floating. We have to make sure that um, we are adding those. So the floating action button is another thing we can add. Another thing we can add on this thing. So let's go ahead and add the floating action button. It says here unpressed. It says here unpressed. So we're going to print another message. Put this as a function. So say print floating button pressed. Then there's no child actually, so we should add a child for this. Let's add a child and put an icon, icons.add. So there you are. You can also change the icon, maybe it's put icon.message. So you see that. So once you press it, it says your floating button pressed. All right. So so this button floats above the UI and is commonly used for primary actions like adding a new item or composing them. You must have seen this in some applications that you have used. So like I said, why it's called a floating button is because even if you scroll this page, it remains where it is. It doesn't scroll up, it doesn't scroll down. So let's possibly add a drawer to round up this class on scaffolds and app bars. So the last thing or one other beautiful thing you can add is a drawer. So drawer, you could just say drawer. So when you do this, you will notice an icon comes there. If you click it, something pops up. So this is what we call a drawer. So you can actually go ahead to do a lot of things here, add picture, add menus and links and all of that. So this is it on the lesson on scaffolds and the app bars. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next video.